You know, something tells me that it's not really a good idea to head into the middle of town with three of us covered in blood. We're trying to avoid attention, and something tells me that's not going to help. Anyway, welcome to part 8 of my Dragon Age Origins Let's Play. Last episode saw us finally leave Ostagar behind us, although probably not in a way that any of us hoped. We met two new lovely companions, Franklin and Morrigan. And Morrigan, she gave us the idea to head to this village to see if we could find any news. All we know at the moment is Lothering betrayed the Grey Wardens and the King, and has blamed the Grey Wardens for that. So let's head into town and see what we can find. You're trying to dig up stone, love. Like, at least wait until we're off into the grass. Let's head this way first. See if there's any looting to do. Aha! Elf loot. Although, we're heading into the refugee camp, so I might feel a little bad about looting some of their stuff, but you know, if you want to keep stuff, you keep it on your person.
I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
You sound so very defensive.
Couldn't you crawl into a bush somewhere and die? That would be great, thanks.
Okay, Alistair. She was asking a question. She was being a bit snarky about it, but, you know, crawl into a... Did you say bush or hole? I can't remember. But naughty naughty. But that does remind me that I want to... Oh, not load. Options. Audio. Game. Controls. Where is subtitles? Aha, conversations only. Conversations and ambient dialogue. Resume game. So I see there's a few boxes and broken crates over here. Don't mind if I do. Oh, a quartz. That's probably something that people want, but yeah, if you needed it, you should keep it on your person. Are they dead? Did you kill them?
Please, we came here to get away from the fighting.
Like, I know I'm covered in blood, but I'm not actually here to fight. Hello? Aha. Thank you. Elf loot. Okay. Kind of... What's the word I'm looking for? Demoralizing to see that this is how many refugees there are. Doesn't seem like a lot. Oh, there's a few more over here though. Refugees. I guess they're not letting them into the town proper. That's a bit rude. Yeah, they're not letting you cross the bridge. Was there a bridge? I think there was. Oh, you're a farmer. Are you like guarding it or something?
We don't see many dwarves in these parts. You here to trade?
I'm not a merchant, I'm a Grey Warden. Sylvie, we already know that there is a bounty on the Grey Wardens. Why would you just advertise that? Let's not outright lie. Not every dwarf is a merchant, you know. That's a bit of a vague statement. I could then go back and say, well, I am a merchant.
Yeah, and my Aunt Fanny's an Orlesian chevalier. You working with a fella by the bridge?
There's a dwarf by the bridge.
Not a dwarf, a merchant. Gouging folks by charging a fortune for the basics. They shouldn't have come here with nothing, I guess.
What a cave dick. But let's see if we can get some questions answered from him.
Can't promise I'm going to answer them.
Oh. What's going on here? Why are there so many refugees? Are they all from the darkspawn attacks?
What isn't? We got chastened barbarians in every farmholder south of Callanhard running from the darkspawn. Not that they'll be safe here with the army gone.
Who's in charge of the village then with the army gone? They have owls, right? That's what Alistair's been telling me.
You could talk to the elder, though she's got her hands full getting everyone on their way. For now, most folks go to Sir Bryant. He's head of the Chantry's Templars.
We want to avoid them as much as possible because we've got a Morrigan with us. You don't have a ruling lord?
He's gone to war and taken all his soldiers, leaving us to fend for ourselves. There's not going to be much left when he returns, if he returns.
Did he head to Ostagar? Because I might have some bad news for the people at this village. So were these bandits always outside the village?
Were? You mean they're gone?
Yeah, Yes, I drove them off. That's a bit of a lie. Soon as I did not, I sort of murdered them all when they attacked me. I'll take that as a thank you.
Well, goody for you. Now there's no one to drive off the blighted refugees.
Wow.
Sir Brian's will be glad, though. He's been talking about offering a reward for anyone who'd run them out.
I should go, and you should go back to your farm and just stay there.
Don't let me stop you.
What a dude.
You there. If you're looking for safe shelter, I'll warn you, there's none to be found.
Oh, yeah, there are more refugees here. I guess there are quite a few refugees. Let me talk to the guy.
Move on if you can. Lothering's lost.
I was looking for some news actually.
You might find that, though it's probably just frightened gossip.
Look
We've
at
had
those
refugees
eyes.
streaming from the south for the last 2 days. The Chantry and Tavern are full to bursting. There simply isn't enough food to go around, and we Templars can barely keep order. You'd be better off elsewhere, my friend.
Are you going to keep me from going in? I doubt it because he just said, you know, if you want to come in, there's nothing to be found here. And we don't want to be rude by saying, out of my way! So, thanks for the warning.
Best of luck wherever you might go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't like how they just stare at me because I'm just so short and they just loom over me. Hello. Refugee girl, what are you looking at? It's a pretty wall.
I want to go home.
Oh. You're probably looking at the wall so people don't see you crying.
It's just a guess, but I'm thinking everyone in Lothering is aware of the approaching darkspawn horde.
Yeah. Probably.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the Templars give away everything in your carts.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
We're just drenched in
Oh,
blood.
you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman?
Okay, do you know how many times I've been taken advantage of by merchants? More times than I can count. Sylvie is not interested in helping you. But... yeah, is your profiteering ruffling some feathers?
You could say that, yes.
Oh
The nerve
dear.
of these people.
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need. Their blood is filling his
No,
pockets.
don't start
It is
that
only
again.
survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in his shoes, given the chance.
I have limited supplies. The people decide what those supplies are worth to them.
You bought most of your wares from these very people last
You
week. Now
stop
they've paid for
flickering.
their lives, and you want to talk business?
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if
Oh,
you
that's
drive
a
this
lot.
rabble off, starting with
Isn't
that
that just a
priest.
gold?
I'm an honest merchant, nothing more.
Can you beat that offer, sister? You don't think you're being unscrupulous?
Would it help these folks if they could buy no goods at all?
They spend their very last coin because they are desperate, and this man preys upon them as surely as the bandits outside the city.
Ah, I'm not arguing anymore. Drive off this woman and get your 100 silvers. Otherwise, I'm taking my wagon and leaving.
Okay. Okay, I want to get involved. And I'm not interested in these 100 silvers. I've been on the surface for a week and a half, and I've gained more money than I have my entire lifetime in this town. So, you know, give it a couple of days, I can get 100 silvers myself. So, question is, do we want to intimidate or do we want to persuade? I don't think he is he has a job, you know. You know, he's being a cave tick, but he's not being a barat. So I think you can compromise and still make a profit, no?
Perhaps. If that woman agrees I'm allowed to charge something.
Do what you must, so long as the prices do not beggar the needy.
Fine, fine, done. And since you don't look too needy, normal prices for
That
you.
is fair.
So, we have come to solve every squabble in the village personally. My, but the darkspawn will be impressed.
Thank you for your generous assistance.
Just for your
May the
snark,
Maker
that is
watch
what we're
over your
going to
path.
do, Morrigan. Persuasive, see? Oh, -3. Oh no, I'm sorry, Morrigan. I'm sorry, but... Oh. Let me take that dagger. But I would swap you out for a person who can pick locks. What do you have, merchant?
Don't suppose you're looking to buy something.
That's why I'm here. I am indeed. Let's see what you have.
All right. Just don't buy everything up.
Does it matter if I buy everything up? You're charging me normal prices. So like, doesn't that mean that you get more money for me? But let me sell some stuff. You can charge some stuff for this. Don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. Right. Let me sell this ring, 'cause that ring just takes up a spot. It's an iron ring. It's a ring. Hey, wine! Oh, it's a gift. Gifts can be sold to a merchant or given to certain party members to influence their approval rating. Do I have any gifts? No, but I do now because that's wine. Heck yeah, if nobody wants that, I'll have it myself. All these recipes are just so expensive. But it's still not... There's no point actually spending a lot of gold on them. Because I don't have improved poison yet. Okay, so over here is the...
The chanters are still operating their board. Now that's dedication.
What is on the chantry board? Bandits everywhere. As transcribed on behalf of Sir Brian, Templar and Defender of the Faith, know that all of those who prey upon refugees do so under pain of death. The Maker spurns bandits and their kinds. The Templars offer a sizable reward for the apprehension or execution of the bandit leaders plying their trade in the northern woods and roads. Beware, the bandits are numerous and of considerable skill. Only a well-armed and well-trained party should brave the deep wood. We pray for the success of any who undertake this mission. Residents of good standing and passing travellers have indicated there are 3 bandit groups in the northern wood. This humble chanter would echo Sir Brian's caution, lest you wind up another victim to these evil men. The rewards for such service is 3 sovereigns. May the Maker look after his children in the hour of need. Which is sovereigns? Is that silver or is that gold? Who knows? But hey, we're good at killing bandits. Get some gold. You know, we can actually get some stuff before we leave here. Now, guy, what are you doing? Doomsayer. Oh.
The legions of evil are on your doorstep. They will feast upon our hearts. There is nowhere to run. This evil will cover the world like a plague of locusts.
Please, you're scaring the children.
Better to slit
Oh,
their
what's wrong with
throats now than let
your
them
weapon?
suffer at darkspawn hands. There! One of their minions is already amongst us. This woman bears their evil stench. Can you not see the vile blackness that fills her?
Ignore him, people. I know I intend to. Why don't you keep your voice down?
I watch the Black Horde descend on my people. I will not be silent.
Please stop. Somebody shut his mouth.
But isn't he right? The ban left us. We're going to die.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us.
Honey, you need to calm down. But he was at Ostagar and don't be a fool, Darkspawn can be defeated. Oh, you poor man, what happened to you? He looks very sad, so what happened to you?
My family, my clan, those creatures butchered them all. Some of us fled here, but we cannot escape the Darkspawn.
It must have been horrible. How did you escape? I doubt you had the Witch of the Wilds come in and save you.
I ran, hearing my wife's screams as they dragged her off. She had hair the same color as yours.
You are not honoring her death by acting like this.
Are you calling me a coward?
I'm calling you an idiot. Listen to yourself for a moment.
I have shamed my ancestors, but the blackness will come.
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us.
Yeah, maybe you should all start running. Yeah, get out of here, all of you. Get moving.
Why is this happening?
Like the Chantry guy, Saviant. No, was he Saviant? I can't see him over there. He was just Templar. He said that Lothering was lost. So why is everybody just here, Sir Man? Now I do want to eventually go to the Chantry, but you know that's where we might get in trouble with Morrigan. So we will go through Lothering and we'll do that job, and then we might have to just beat a hasty exit. Worst comes to the worst.
I'm cold.
Hello. Flasks. Rubble. Elf root. That must be a really damaged one. You were robbed. Let me guess. The bandits up at the top?
Greetings to you, milady. If it isn't too much to ask, might you be able to spare some bread?
Here's 50 silvers. I spared nothing for beggars. What happened to you?
We thought it would be safer in Lothering, that the Terran would bring his soldiers here. But bandits attacked us and took everything. Our food,
yeah.
our clothes, my daughter's pet lamb. Nobody cares about a few elves. Can you help us?
I can spare nothing for beggars. I met those bandits and drove them off.
That's wonderful news. Perhaps our belongings are still there.
I can't thank you enough, friend. Even if we don't get everything back, it's good to know others will be safe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm frugal. I'm not going to give you 50 silvers. And I also don't want to really be rude and say, hey, nothing for you. Okie doke. So, hello? Annoying child? Little boy? Are you the one that's yelling like that?
Have you seen my mother?
Beat it. Yes, I have. She's over there somewhere. That depends. Who is your mother?
She's really tall, and she has red hair. We live on a big farmhold, all of us. Some mean men with swords came, and Mother told me to run to the village as fast as I could, so I did. She said she'd be right behind me, but I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't see her.
Yes, well, good luck with that. Do you know where your father is?
He went with William to the neighbours yesterday, but he didn't come back.
Ah. Well, I don't want to bring him with me. I'm about to go attack bandits. Do I want to be rude to the child? Yes, well, good luck with that. I'm not good with kids.
She'll come soon, right?
Oh.
She won't leave me here all alone. Mother, where are you?
Well, that made me feel bad. Poor baby.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Oh, we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
Alistair, could you not mention apostate in the middle of a town with a chantry that is right over there? Could you not? I'd appreciate that. Hey? Hey? And Morrigan, keep being you. Anything down there? I'm just exploring. There's a wooden crate over there. But there is also quests. Ice arrows. Let me look at what those exclamation points want. Let's, excuse me. Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, stranger. I don't suppose you know anyone that can make traps?
Traps? What do you need
Old
traps
Man
for?
Barlin said that darkspawn may be coming soon. He's got traps on his farm. I figured I'd put a few on my lands. Barlin wants to poison his traps. I just want normal traps.
Why don't you just buy some?
None to be had. Balin has all the traps in the village in his fields.
Ah. Balin has poison traps on his land?
He doesn't have any poison yet, thank the Maker. So his fields are just full of traps. He can be a bit eccentric.
Uh-huh. I can't make traps.
I didn't mean to bother you. Sorry.
Me too. What's wrong with your dog? Creepy. Okay.
So tell me something, Morrigan. Did you live there in that forest your entire life?
I left it on occasion, but I always returned. Why? Is that so strange? It was my home.
But it was just you and your mother there? No one else?
Mother occasionally had company.
What? Company? Do I even want to ask?
Why did you ask?
No, you really don't.
Is he like trying to get to know her? Chickens. Pile of filth, huh? What's in here then? A mushroom. Not what I was expecting, but not as bad as I was expecting either. So that's good. What do you have? Do you have anything that I can do? I can't make traps.
You've got a bed for
whoa,
the night.
Whoa!
You taken care of.
What's going on here?
Ever since good King Cailan passed, refugees and soldiers have been passing through. I'm the elder here, and I've my hands full making sure refugees don't turn to petty theft, or worse. Sir Bryant at the Chantry is seeing to matters of defence and such. He'd have more of an ear for your type.
Whoa. Okay.
Too much to do, and not enough time.
Well, do you need any help? I had to ask that specific thing to talk about your exclamation mark.
I don't suppose you know anything of tonics, medicines, or herbs.
I don't, but Alistair does.
Then you may be able to do us a lot of good. All manner of travellers come through, many injured or sick. We do our best, but we're out of supplies. There's medicinal herbs in the woods to the north. If you make a few poultices, I'll scrape together some sort of payment. I'll write all you need to know in this note here.
Thanks. It's more than just plants. She wants 3 lesser health poultices. We've currently got 6. Can we just give her them?
Have any luck finding herbs in the woods?
I didn't need them. Here you go.
This will help many people. You're a good sort,
I'm here for the XP. Thank you. 50 silver. Thank you very much. Okay, so done this half of the town. That's out into the main wooded area. What's going on here?
How dare you accuse me of thievery? I saw you take the supplies from my car. Your grassland eyes are inept. A chastened would never stoop to petty theft. You marsh folk are all thieves and liars.
Enough! People here are already desperate and frightened. They don't need you two coming to blows.
But what about my food?
I said enough!
Okay. You two not following?
The carnage we left in the wilds was horrifying.
These darkspawn corrupt the earth. The air turns to blackness. Even if they are defeated, can we ever return home?
Yes. Maybe. So...
Did you speak to that knight yesterday? Said he was from Redcliffe.
He talked to everyone in the tavern. How are we supposed to know where the urn of sacred ashes is? Might as well ask us how to get to the moon.
He said that all the Redcliffe knights were looking for it, as if they didn't have anything better to do. I don't get it.
I'm just right there, just staring at them. Okay, is this...
Did you see the new recruiters out?
I'd keep your voice down if I were you. They're pressing anyone who can hold a sword into service.
Terran wants a new army, but is it to fight them darkspawn or those nobles shouting against them?
I've no idea, but I'm sure not about to raise my hand, if you catch my meaning. Not after what happened down south.
Let's go. Those two are very chatty, aren't they? Are you actually going to load the loading screen?
Well, look what we have here then. I think we've just been blessed.
Uh-oh. Logain's
And the blood has disappeared. Just
Didn't
in
we spend all
time to
morning
probably
asking
get
about
more
a dwarf by
blood.
this very description, and everyone said they hadn't seen one.
Whoa, what's going on there?
Gentlemen, surely there is no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
If she's got a sword, I would not stack my money against her. That did not make any sense whatsoever. But, you know, between her and you guys, I'd put my money on her. She's gonna kill you and look good doing it. Should we talk about things before it gets out of hand? It looks like he wants to fight. I'm happy to oblige. I'm getting a bit frustrated by people. So, yeah, if he wants to fight, I'm happy to oblige.
Right, let's make this quick.
Time.
Okie doke. Guns. It's been long enough that I just don't quite. Oh. Drink it. There we go. Yeah, let's get this guy.
All right, you've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
They aim to butcher us. They deserve no mercy. Or should we take a message to Logain, huh? Huh? Yeah, let's take a message to Logain. Or should I just say I don't want to report it to Logain? No, screw it. He knows that we might be alive. He knows that, yeah, because he was looking for someone with my description. Why was he looking for someone of my description? Wouldn't he assume that I just died? So he knows that we lit the beacon, but even then he doesn't know that we lit the beacon because we were just supposed to guard the tower. Take a message to Logain.
What do you want to tell him?
Ooh, The Grey Wardens know what really happened. That doesn't really mean much. There's just two of us. He'll pay for what he's done. We're coming for him. Are we coming for him? Probably. He'll have to do better than this. I don't want him to do better than this. I want him to be this bad at trying to kill us for the rest of time. So he will pay for what he's done. We're coming for him.
I'll tell him right away. Now, thank you.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
It was all, it's alright, I was happy to save your life. So I see, where does a sister learn to fight like that? Well, she's pretty much the first sister that I've really met. For all I know, all Sylvie knows, they all know how to fight. So, and who are you anyhow?
Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
Ooh, should I be polite or should I ask? I am Sylvie. A pleasure to meet you, Liliana.
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened, you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
Okay. These men were mistaken. I'm no Grey Warden. I think us asking them to send him a message proves that we are exactly who they were looking for. Why so eager to come with me?
The Maker told me to.
Can you elaborate?
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
You feel sorry for the people, help them here? Well, the darkspawn are going to attack here eventually. Yeah, they're heading north. I need more than prayers, I'm afraid. She can fight, though. Yeah, I need more than prayers, I'm afraid.
I can fight. I can do more than fight. As I said, I was not always a lay sister. I put aside that life when I came here. But now, if it is the Maker's will, I will take it up again. Gladly. Please let me help you.
Very well, I will not turn away help when it is offered.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
being
did have a
given
cracked
this
skull.
chance. I will not let you down.
Okay. Bye bye, puppy. I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
Indeed.
Why are these 3 level 7 and us 2 are level 6? Okay. Could you look the other way, please?
Hi.
Oh, hello. Hi.
All right.
Oh wait, what are you? You're a rogue.
I am ready.
Can you do it? Finally. Yes. Yes, now we need to go to every place. Open.
You're gonna make more trouble? We've about all we can stand in Lothering now.
Sorry about the mess.
They had it coming, and they were trouble enough themselves. So long as you don't start more, I won't get excited. Right then, name's Denial. Sorry I can't chat much. As you see, we've a full house.
I don't suppose you have any rooms? No, I'm not interested. Who were those men I fought exactly?
When Tian Logang marched by, he left those fellas behind to look for Grey Wardens. I suppose that's you.
Yes. Yes, it is. You know what? I've got a complete 180. We are Grey Wardens. Turn Logain will not silence me. That is what we are. Yes, it is.
I have no qualm with you, whatever the Tian says. My grandfather served. Your secret's safe
Thank
with
you.
me.
What can I get you then?
Have you heard any rumours?
There's knights from Redcliffe wandering the countryside, looking for the place where Andraste's sacred ashes are said to lie. Can you believe
Oh, that reminds me. I need to
the
talk about
urn holding her ashes is a myth.
night.
And yet these knights say they were sent to find it anyhow to heal our Elaine. I didn't even know he was ill. Maybe he has the blight. If so, then times are even darker for Ferelden than any of us thought. Anything else I can get you?
It's death and despair. What else can I get you? Heard any other rumours?
I hear that Tir Logain, the regent, is calling for new levies of troops. He wants to rebuild the army we lost at Astagar. Thing is, there's not a lot of spare men to be found. Out of Dragon's Peak, there's press gangs roaming around, grabbing any free man they can lay their hands on. Anything else I can get you?
Heard any other rumours?
There's knights from Redcliffe spread all over Ferelden on some kind of mission, but I hear that they're starting to become rare to find. Maybe they all went back to Redcliffe.
Or maybe they're all
likely
dead.
They got tired of searching for something that can't be found and abandoned their search. I wonder what Earl Eamon is going to do without any knights. Anything else I can get you?
I will be going. Thank you.
Luck speed your way.
I appreciate that. Codex updated. He fell ill with a mysterious condition that even magic could not treat. How do you get magic in that? Leliana. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. A lay sister of the Chantry who can beat the stuffing out of trained mercenaries would be noticeable enough, but one who also claims to have been sent to fight the darkspawn by the Maker himself is unusual, to say the least. She joined Alistair and Sylvie in Lothering, insisting she would prove useful. The Chasind Wilders have lived in the Kokari Wild since the first wars with the Alamari drove them southwards a millennium ago. According to their own lore, they had always been a forest-dwelling people that adapted quickly to their new home. Game and fish are plentiful in the wetlands, and the Chasind thrived. For a time, they and the hill-dwelling Avars were true threats to the northern lowlands. The Tevinter Imperium had arrived and was hard-pressed to keep back the waves of invasions from the south and the west. The fortress of Ostagar was built specifically to watch for Chasind hordes venturing north of the tree line. It was not until the legendary warrior Hafter soundly defeated the Chasind in the first half of the Divine Age that the question of their ability to contest the lowlands was settled permanently. Today the Chasind are considered largely peaceful, though their ways are still primitive compared to our own. In the Kokari Wilds they live in strange-looking huts built on stilts, or even built into the great tree tops. They paint their faces and are split into small tribes ruled by shamans like those among the Avars. There are many tales of these shamans having learned their magic from the witches of the wilds, witches that inspire as much terror as they do awe and gratitude, even if there is no definitive proof they exist. In particular, the tale of Flameth, the greatest witch of the wilds, celebrated among all tribes. While there is no way to know how many there are in the wilds today, few travellers that pass through the forest tell of Chasinds eking out an existence even in the frozen wastelands of the far south. One can assume that should the Chasind ever organise themselves once more, we might have reason to fear them here in Ferelden. We ignore them at our peril. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. I was going to say something then. No, it wasn't about that. It was about this guy over here with the exclamation mark over his head. I see that you are called Balin. 20 silver says that he is after poison. Maybe I could help him with that.
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the chantry. I got other gear to sell.
Know of any well-paying work in Lothering? Something tells me you have some.
Check the chanter's board by the chantry. There's good jobs there. I don't suppose you know anything about,
I knew it!
poison.
I knew it! Poison. I have dabbled in such things.
I figured if I kept asking, I'd find someone. I'd pay good coin for some simple poison. Something to slow them beasties down or make them think twice.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks. I might have some ingredients in stock. Don't
really know what you need.
I don't really know what you want. Show me what you've got. Why are you doing that in the corner? Stop it. Let me get some of these. I should just like look. I don't want you. I don't want you. That might be. Oh no, that's better than my Thane helmet. I love my Thane helmet. Ooh, gold. Ale. That's a bit too much for something that I don't really know much about at the moment. Let me have a look. Okay, what do you want then? Let me have a look. You want 3 flasks of venom, huh? I believe I already have 4, but I will make some more of that. I need toxin extract.
Any luck with that poison? Or you here to see my stock?
Show me what you've got. Okay. You don't... what? Okay, you don't have what I need, but I'll buy some more flasks for later. Let me buy a lot of them. So I've got 26 now, okay?
Any luck with
and
that
I
poison?
will just give
or
you
you here
these.
to see my stock?
Here you go.
Splendid! If those beasties come on my land, I hope it teaches them a lesson. Yeah, enough gold to cover any of your expenses and then some, hey?
I wish you luck, dude. Okay? Just good luck. What's up here then? Hello? Hello?
We keep hearing they are just a day or 2 away.
Hey Bard, are you gonna sing?
Please, I must continue playing, else I earn no coin.
You're not playing. I want to hear you play. What's over here? Why is it like a pupet? Excuse me.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about.
Is there something I can do with you, dude?
I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. We're a mercenary company that fell on hard times after the war with Orlais. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day. With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more.
And why should I help you? What's in it for me?
The Blackstone Irregulars fought alongside the King's army against Orlais. We've helped nobles defend their land and given our service to people in need for generations. Our current captain, Raelnor, is an honorable man who sees that we can do some good in Ferelden once more. He is so confident in our mission that he trusted the Grey Wardens would support us.
Fine, how can I be of service?
Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders. I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any of our members stationed at an Irregulars post. We'll make sure your efforts are rewarded.
What is this?
Maker's blessings
What
light your
are
path.
they? Letter from the Black Irregulars. A letter written in careful script addressed to you. To the intimate... Dude, I am a Castus forth from Orzammar, Dusttown. I don't know what inimitable means. I don't know how to say that. I don't think I'm saying it right. I don't know what that means. Your deeds have spread since the tragedy of Ostagar, and I find myself in need of one such as you. I am Raelnor, captain of the venerable Blackstone Irregulars, and I hope to win your trust. The Irregulars have come on hard times since the war with Orlais, but I have fought to improve their reputation. Gone are the days of my father's shady deals with unscrupulous nobles in Denerim. No, I have trained a guild filled with honourable men ready to fight for Ferelden, and I am proud to say that I have seen your own Grey Wardens as a sort of model. We are not perfect. My own son advocates a move back to the more lucrative way my father ran the guild, but we are steadfast. It is in this context that I ask you for help, and I promise that we will reward you accordingly. Should you be willing, please find letters in this box and others like it all over the land, and carry out the request therein. For this matter, consider requests for my son, and as if they came from myself. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart, whether you choose to assist us or not. You are doing the Maker's work, Warden, and I am honoured to work with you. Raelnor. Okay, 2 things. You say that your son wants to go back to the more, I'll do any day work as long as the money's good. And yet you also say, just treat his requests like mine. Something tells me that his will be a bit more like, hey, steal this thing, assassinate this guy, and the guy will turn out to be a perfectly nice gentleman, but the guy who wanted him dead, like, gave him, like, 200 gold. And 2, I don't really care about doing the Maker's work. You know, Castless Dwarf. Don't really care for the stone either, all that much. Anyway, let's see what's in this chest. Scraping the battle. My friend, there were a number of people who pledged to aid the Blackstone Irregulars in times of need. These times are now. Here you will find 3 letters of conscription. Deliver them to the people listed below and return to the Irregulars for your payment. Should any of these people refuse, do what you must to get them to honour their oaths. Conscripts Durnall Garrison, Redcliffe, Patagwitch, Lothering, Ferelden, Denerim. So there's somebody here. Your friend Tyron. Dereliction of duty. My friend, the Irregulars require a trusted agent to track down and deal with deserters. Do this and you will be rewarded. These deserters took with them valuable supplies crucial to the Irregulars' future as a supplier of martial services. Deal with these wastes of space as you see fit, and bring the supplies back as proof that the problem has been dealt with. We will ask no questions as to your methods or the final condition of the deserters. Use your own discretion. You will likely find them in the following locations: Samael, Lake Calenhad, Layson in Denerim, and Taunus in the Frostback Mountains. Your friend, Tyron. Okay. Ooh. Letters of conscription. Dear friend, you are receiving this letter because you or someone else placed your name on an article of conscription, thereby pledging your life to the Blackstone Irregulars. With war looming on all fronts, the Irregulars must build their numbers. We are forced to call upon those who have sworn their assistance to make good on these oaths. Say farewell to your friends and family. While you may return to them, you must prepare them for the possibility that this may be your last day together. Your sacrifice is appreciated. Tyron. This letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. What does someone else place your name on an article of conscription mean? Hey, like somebody else should be able to place your name on it. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that Gritch guy. Before we leave. But we've still got a few things to do here.
I've got a cousin in the Templars. He says the mages in the tower out on Lake Calenhad are all turning into demons.
They always say that, though.
These two just have so much information.
What's to do? I thought you killed them.
Easier said than done. Mages pick a fine time to go turning into demons, I tell you.
Let me have a look. Okay, so I've got this one, which is unfortunately better than mine. I don't like it though, so yay. Alistair can have the better helmets. There you go, love. And let me look at not Morrigan, Liliana. You've just got like one-handed dagger. You're very pathetic. I will at least give you 2. But I will also give you one of these. You can have the lovely bow. And you can have the fire arrows as well. Now... Oh, everybody's got silly helmets except for Sylvie, because that's what you do, isn't it? Oh dear. No, nobody should wear that. Oh. No, no, no. There we go. There we go. You can keep wearing your skirts. Hey, Liliana. Let's go. Let's go this way. Oh, you're a chicken. Oh, there you are. I was like, I'm sure there was a chest here. Hello, Elder love. And there's another one. There we go. You can wear that one instead. Yeah, you look better with that one anyway. Let's go. Hopefully there's nothing available here. Were you saying something? Hello?
You aren't one of my captors.
I remember the revered mother mentioning this man. She called him a savage from the far north.
I have nothing to say that would amuse a dwarf. Leave me in peace.
What are you? That's a very rude question to say. You're a prisoner? Who put you here?
I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry.
The revered mother said he slaughtered an entire family, even the children.
It is as she says.
Oh.
I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples.
I am Sylvie, pleased to meet you.
You mock me. Or you show manners I have not come to expect.
I'm very polite.
Though it matters little now. I will die soon enough.
This is a proud and powerful creature, trapped as prey for the darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
Oh, you
I suggest you leave me to my fate.
What did you do to end up in here?
I have been convicted of murder.
No.
Have the villagers not spoken of this?
Are you guilty?
Are you asking if I feel guilt or if I am responsible for the deed? However I feel, whatever I've done, my life is forfeit now.
If you feel guilty about the murder, why did you do it?
Either you have an enviable memory or a pitiable life to know nothing of regret.
I'm feeling like I'm going around in circles with you. How long have you been here?
20 days now. I shouldn't last much longer, another week at most.
Aren't you interested in seeking atonement?
Death will be my atonement.
So you would prefer to die?
I would prefer to die in battle, but my choices have been made.
You could help me defend the land against the Blight.
The Blight? Grey Warden, then?
Why do you ask? Because I just said that we were going to fight against the Blight. Yes, I am.
Surprising. My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill. Though I suppose not every legend is true.
Ooh, burn. Would the Reverend Mother let you free?
Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance, it seems as likely to bring my death as waiting here.
Then I will leave you for now and see what she says.
Farewell, then.
To be left here to starve? Or to be taken by the darkspawn? No one deserves that. Not even a murderer.
Yeah, and... Okay. Either you have an enviable memory or a pitiful life to know nothing of regret. The northern islands are remote. Lush jungles that harbour cities rumoured to be the most extraordinary ever built. These are the lands of the Canary, lands that no foreign eyes ever see. Only the stories of the 3 exalted marchers waged against the giants have reached the south, until the arrival of Sten. The stoic giant in the cage was surely the strangest thing the people of Lothering had ever seen, until the Blight struck. He is also the strangest thing I have ever seen, because I played Inquisition before this one, and to be honest, I look more like a canary now than he does, because I've got horns. Whoa, what are you doing? Weird. Okay, so let me have a look at my map. I should probably go back to see if we can release him first. And then go out and see if I can find some things for people.
I'm wondering, Morrigan, do you believe in the Maker?
Certainly not. I've no primitive fear of the moon, such that I must place my faith in tales so that I may sleep at night.
But this can't all be an accident. Spirits, magic, all these wondrous things around us, both dark and light. You know these things exist.
The fact of their existence does not presuppose an intelligent design by some absentee father figure.
So it is all random then. A happy coincidence that we are all here.
Attempting to impose order over chaos is futile. Nature is, by its very nature, chaotic.
I don't believe that. I believe we have a purpose. All of us.
Yours, apparently, being to bother me.
Okay, so are you one of those people, Liliana? Because we've not even known you 5 minutes and you're already saying, do you believe in the Maker? You should. This is why you should. So I'm just keeping an eye out for that electric glitch guy. Hey, love.
It's good to see you again, Sister Liliana.
Thank you, Sir
I thought he was talking to me then. I was like, I've never seen you before. Can you tell me anything about the caged canary?
Is he still alive? The revered mother put him there a few weeks back. He'll be dead soon enough.
Who's in charge of this chantry?
The revered mother runs the chantry itself, and Sir Bryant heads the Templars stationed here.
Did you know that there were bandits in the highway?
Were? Did you drive them off?
Yeah,
well,
I
Sir Bryant will
drove
appreciate
them off.
that.
Have you heard any news?
Not since Tairn Logain passed by with his army. It's a shame about the king. But with the darkspawn coming, few can think of anything else.
Goodbye.
Make her watch over you.
You were pretty useless. Let's go into the chantry. Okay. There's Sir Bryant's.
There's word of darkspawn stragglers, but no sign of the main horde. We are the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us.
Okay. Excuse me, let me look at this.
Please, we came here to get away from
I
the
was
fighting.
trying to get the book. Your big head was in the way. So the first blight, chapter 1. Thedas is a land of fierce diversity, from the assassin princes of Antiva to the faded griffins of the Anderfells. But in my travel I have found one tale that unites the people of this land. It is a story of pride and damnation, and although the telling differs, the essence of the tale remains the same. At the height of its power, the Tevinter Imperium stretched over much of Thedas, uniting the known world under the rule of the tyrannical Magisters. It is said that the old gods whom the Magisters worshipped gave them knowledge of blood magic, and cemented their rule. The blood of elven slaves and humans alike ran down the imperial altars to fuel the Magister greed. The tales of their excesses are so horrifying that one can only be grateful that blood magic is prohibited today. But all that stands tall must eventually fall. Perhaps they foresaw their ruins, or perhaps their pride knew. Okay, deep breath. Their pride knew no bounds. But whatever the reason, the Magisters dared to open a magical portal into the Golden City at the heart of the Fade. They sought to usurp the Maker's throne, long left unattended in the Golden City after the Maker turned his back on his creations. They would storm heaven itself with their power and become as gods. That is what the Chantry, in its oft-excised tendency to understate, refers to as the second sin. According to most versions of the tale, the Magisters did indeed reach the Golden City and walked into the home of the Maker, where no living being before them had dared or been able to tread. But humanity is not meant to walk in heaven. The Magisters were wicked with pride and other sins, and their presence tainted the Golden City. What once was a perfect holy citadel became a twisted home of darkness and nightmares. The Magisters were expelled back through their gateway and cursed for their treachery. As the Golden City had been tainted, so were the Magisters, twisted and transformed into things of darkspawn. Darkness, the very first of the darkspawn. The Golden City, once a shining beacon at the heart of the Fade, became the Black City, a reminder of all that man's pride has cost. From the Tale of Destruction of Thedas by Brother Genetivi, Chantry Scholar. Bum bum bum. Okay, let me talk to Bryant.
I see you have returned, sister. I thought you had left the Chantry for good.
I have, Sir Bryant.
And who is the lady with you, if I might ask?
I am the Grey Warden Sylvie.
I see. I am Sir Bryant, commander of the Lothering Templars. Tern Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the king's death. You know this, I hope.
You will say nothing about me, it's that clear. The Grey Wardens did no such thing? Or, yeah, I've heard the rumours.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Tern claims.
I know.
But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
Have you heard any recent news?
Other than the Darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Tern Loghain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
King Cailan had no heir?
None that we know of. Tern Loghain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero and his daughter may be queen, but he is a commoner, and the king's corpse is barely cold. If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
But isn't Arl Eamon his maternal? Cailan's maternal uncle? Who knows? What can you tell me about the imprisoned Gunari?
I was there at the farmhold. The beast stood there, wet with the blood of the children. He didn't even deny slaughtering them. The revered mother ordered him caged. She has more mercy than I do.
don't think that's mercy.
But perhaps she is right, and the Maker has love for all his creations, even the Kunari.
Is there a way he could be released? Let's not anger him. Yeah, no,
You can
say it.
ask the revered mother. I say let him rot until the darkspawn claim him.
Are you in charge here?
The revered mother leads this flock. I merely command her Templars. Normally, our role is to protect the Chantry and seek out unsanctioned magic. For now, it is all we can do to protect the innocent.
Okay. And if you found an unsanctioned mage, eyes Morrigan. How do Templars fight against magic? That's not something that I'd want to ask you. I'd ask Alistair if I wanted to know about that. So are you the only protection this village has?
Our ban was summoned by Tean Logain, and he took his soldiers north with him. Lothering has been abandoned.
Where would I find the Reverend Mother?
In her study, no doubt. Preparing what she will take when we eventually evacuate.
Oh, so you guys are planning on evacuating? Because it didn't seem like it. Tell me about something else.
If the matter is important, certainly.
I've nothing else to ask.
No, unless there's something else.
I want to ask about the things seem very dire in the village.
They are. With the ban having taken his men north, the village is left to its fate. We will evacuate as many as we can before the horde reaches us. I will stay as long as I'm needed. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Yes, about those bandits outside the village.
Maker's breath, how many times must we drive them off?
Why, they robbed me, I demand compensation. One less, I drove them off myself.
Indeed, they're gone.
It's true. I saw the bastard running
You
for the
did
hills
not, I
myself.
killed them!
That's an impressive feat indeed. Will you accept a small reward for your efforts?
Certainly, thank you.
If it interests you, there is a Chanters board outside full of quests
I've
that
already
need doing.
accepted it.
The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
That is it for you. I should go.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
I guess because I talked to them and I convinced them to leave, it recognized that I'd done that, and then because I sort of started nosing through their stuff, it was all they attack. I think there we go. Hello.
Who? I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donald? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Very nearly, Sir Donald. May I introduce my fellow Grey Warden? We are the last two in Ferelden, as far as I know.
Terrible news indeed. Pleased to meet you, my lady. Might I know your name?
You can call me Sylvie. It is a pleasure. Yeah, let's not be too. Well, he's a friend of Alistair's. So yeah, I like how I'm just really really struggling over whether I should say you can call me Sylvie or I am Sylvie. A pleasure to meet you. I'm like, how familiar do we want to be with this knight? I am Sylvie. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I trust you are staying discreet, with the bounty placed on your heads.
We've heard Logain's accusations, but he's the one who betrayed.
Why are we
If
whispering?
Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Logain straight soon enough.
But if Arl Eamon is sick, why are you here?
Our only hope now is a miracle. Every knight of Redcliffe has gone in search of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness, but I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
It's like we just talked to Sir Brian or whatever his name is, and we said that we were Grey Warden. There's no need to whisper. So, your quest for the ashes brought you here?
I expected to take advantage of the Chantry's library, in fact, but my skills are better suited to battle than chasing down tales.
I'd like to ask more questions, but I don't want to ask you more questions and then be like, oh, by the way, your friend's dead. So your friend Sir Henrik is dead, I'm afraid. I have something of his.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
I am sorry about your friend.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
Oh, cool, so I can still ask. So, tell me more about the urn of sacred ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
Yeah, we dwarves don't learn much about your religion. I never went to school. Yeah.
If you're truly interested, there are books here containing a great deal of lore. Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, my lady. You have been most helpful.
Okay. Codex. The sacred ashes of Andraste. Only one person witnessed Metharath's betrayal, Havard of the Aegis. A childhood friend of Matharath, he accompanied his chief to the meeting with the Devinters, not realizing what was planned. When he understood that Matharath was giving Andraste over to be executed, Havard, unwilling to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Devinter soldiers. The Devinters struck him down and Matharath left him for dead. I've read this one, I think. Gravely wounded, Havard made his way to the gates of Mithranthos to stop the execution. When he reached it, the terrible deed was already done. The armies on the plains long since dispersed. Havard, cursing his weakness, gathered the earthly remains of Andraste that had been left to the wind and rain and wept. When his fingers touched the pile of ash, his ears filled with song, and he saw before him a vision of Andraste, dressed in cloth made of starlight. She knelt at his side, saying, "The Maker shall never forget you as long as I remember." The song faded and the vision with it, and Havard was alone. But his wounds were healed. With new strength Havard took up the ashes of Our Lady and bore them back to the lands of the Alamari. From Thedas, Myth and Legend by Brother Genitivi. Okie doke.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the
Maker.
darkness, the word dispelled.
There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky. All that existed was silence. But then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities, and from it made his firstborn. And he said to them, "In my image I forged you, to you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done." Then in the centre of heavens he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne, and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were songs of the cobblestones. They shone with the golden light, reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners that flew on their own, and the voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, "In my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done. Yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing." And he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn, and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, "Here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone its balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever-changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. At last did the Maker from the living world make men, immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, "To you, my second-born, I grant you this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fade I crafted you, and to the fade you shall return, each night in dreams that you may always remember me." And then the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Threnodies 5, 8 to 1. No, 1 to 8. Okay.
Fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted. Let those who seek redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
Adventures of the Black Fox. Sorry, I just want to get out of here now, so let's deal with those later. Leliana, you are up. That's a gift. So that tells me that she would like that gift. So act surprised when I give it to you later, okay?
Shall the chant of life make it pure? Let all mankind be humble.
Hello,
Let
Pater
all
Gritch.
repeat the chant of life. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
Oh, key required, okay. Hey, guy.
Yes? What can I do for you?
You need to wear some new clothes. I have a letter for you from the Blackstone Irregulars.
I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my sister. Sure, sign the paper, she said. You'll enjoy some coin now, but they'll be back. I guess I'll see you on the front lines.
Whoa. That guy can disappear. No wonder they want him for help.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world,
Okay.
it lasts to the ears of the
Like the Imperial Chantry, huh? Let's talk to the Reverend Mother.
Good day, Sister Leliana. I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
I do not recognize your companion. Greetings. Will you be making a donation to the Chantry? Our need has never been greater.
What tithe is acceptable?
Might I suggest 30 silver?
I don't like 30 silver. Yeah, very well. 30 it is.
Thank you, dear woman. What can I do for you then?
Take that as a bribe. I want to talk about Sten the Canary you imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
Is there any way I can convince you to release him?
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
I was thinking you might release him into my custody.
And what do you say on this, Leliana? You know your friend better than I.
These are unusual times, Your Reverence. With us, the Kunari might do some good. I am sure of it, in fact.
Were things not so desperate? Very well, I trust you. Take these keys to his cage and make her watch over you.
Thank you, Your Reverence. Your trust is not misplaced.
I suppose that that would have been harder without her in the party.
Yes? What can I do for you now?
What could she help me with? She's done all that I want from her. That's
Farewell to you then. Good day.
Farewell to you. I hope you get out of here in time.
Let all repeat the chant of life. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
Okay, so I think this is where we'll end things today. We've not quite finished Lothering, but we've just got a few jobs to finish up. Get a bit of money, especially as we've just spent that 30 silver. But, you know, hopefully Sten will be worth it. I consider, 30 silver pretty cheap. He killed a lot of people. Granted, some of them were children and they were probably easy to kill.
Why do you always go on about how stupid I am? I'm not stupid, am I?
If you need to ask the question...
Because it hurts my manly feelings, you know. Or one of them.
Then I'll be sure to write you an apology once all of this is over.
I was educated by the Chantry. I studied history. They don't make stupid Templars.
Then I must have been mistaken. I'm very impressed.
No, you're not. You're not even listening to me.
My, you are smarter than you look after all. Your Chantry must have been very proud.
Okay, so next episode we'll see us unlock Sten out of the cage. We might have a travel with him across this little land here, because we've got a few jobs to do. We did talk to Patrick Rich in Lothering, so we've got this bit to weed out the bandits. We'll see if there's anything else up there. And I really got confused then. I was like, who are these new companions here? Let me move to the other side of the road. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.